what I'm going to try to teach you today, and I hope that it's something that you'll enjoy and you might even use, the initials for it are EFT. And what that stands for is emotional freedom techniques. And it's a tapping technique. And it was first developed by a Dr. George Goodhart in the early 1960s. He was a chiropractor, and he began to discover that if he used acupressure points and he tapped on them, that it did something with the energy that went right to the brain. And where we hold stress is the amygdala in the brain. And it seemed to help people release stress, open up ideas, feel better about themselves, because we're all energy. And so now, fast forward to 2021, tapping has become a much bigger use technique for people because it's more effective, quicker when you're feeling stress or you want to increase your energy. And what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you these different acupressure points, and we can thank the Chinese doctors for that, because actually Chinese acupressure points and acupuncture was first developed by the Chinese thousands of years ago. So we wouldn't even have this technique for me to bring to all of you today to hopefully help make a difference if you're feeling stressed in this really crazy time that we've especially had this past year with COVID, where you've had to be at home, learning distance, not seeing family members, and for many people who've had a loss. But what I wanted to share with you to start off with is why I think this is so important and why Mrs. Camacho brought me to the classroom to kind of enhance all your mindfulness education and journey that you are so blessed, believe me, to be learning now. Because my generation didn't learn any of these things. I didn't have these techniques when I was your age. So I'll begin with when I was your age in the 9th grade. What started for me was it began not feeling very well. I had a lot of joint pain. I started becoming fatigued. My mother would take me to a bunch of doctors and they would say, oh, you know, little girls, they complain. They always have belly aches. And then one day I started bleeding internally. So it was not in my mind, as all these doctors said right in front of me. So the point for that is I want you to understand that conversation and hearing what those doctors said initiated a belief system in my mind about who I was. And that term is used frequently about what's called a limiting belief, because that is something that we begin to carry with us when we become an adult. So what happened is that at 13 going into 14, I ended up in the hospital, emergency surgery, exploratory surgery, and I was diagnosed with an incurable autoimmune disease. And it was pretty shocking for my entire family, especially at that age. So I spent the next 2 years with a private tutor at home, and I missed my first 2 years of high school. To give you for instance, how I felt about myself. At 16, I weighed 68 pounds and I was 4'11". And my child's mind, my teenage child's mind, believed that life was going to be pretty darn shitty for me because I didn't look like anybody else. I didn't even have boobs like all the other girls had. And I thought, oh my God. And I was so tiny. And part of that was because the disease that I have is called Crohn's disease. And it's a disease of the entire digestive system. And because doctors in those days really knew nothing about nutrition, I was taken off everything that was healthy. So it stunted my growth. So fast forward to when I was an adult and I was in and out with this disease, in and out of remission. and I got married. I had 2 girls, and I became very ill in this marriage with the Crohn's disease. And this disease is really painful. So what happened was, in the hospital, every 3 to 4 hours through IV, I was injected with opiates around the clock, 24 hours a day, usually 2 weeks at a time. And I was sick a lot. So I began a physical addiction. The hospital addicted me to drugs to begin with. And then what also happened is I was in a marriage that was abusive, emotionally. And on occasion, he would put his hands around my throat and put me to the ground. But more than that, I was a mother of 2 young elementary kids who really felt like a screw up because I was sick. I started feeling and thinking that I was just a piece of crap because of the man that I was married to and the fact that I was sick. I couldn't do the things that I wanted to with my kids. And then New Year's Eve, 1989, I decided to kill myself. So I took every single pill I had in the house. And obviously it didn't work because you see me here in 2021. And all it did, thank God, is put me to sleep. And I woke up and I'm sorry, there's only one word I could use about this. I apologize, Mrs. Camacho. I said, oh, fuck, I can't even kill myself. So what I did is I said, I need to put my big girl panties on. I need to figure out how to fix what's broken, be a better mother. How can I move to take care of myself? And what can I do to feel that I'm okay and have compassion and love for myself, even though I have this disease and I will get sick at times. And yeah, maybe I'm smaller than everybody else. You know, all the different things that we say, well, I wish I looked like her, or I'm not as thin, or I'm too thin, I'm too heavy, I'm not as tall. All the things that we put on ourselves that make it really difficult in life, that end up, we don't feel very compassionate about who we are. So what I eventually did is I went to school and I became a certified somatic hypnotherapist. So what that means is I don't turn people into chickens. I don't make you raise your arm and hold it there for hours. I have no idea how they do that, because true hypnotherapy, you are just in a theta state, a brain state, where we can shift your habits. And what that state is that hopefully you're not in that state now where you're bored and you're drifting off and thinking about other things. But it's like what you feel like in the morning, the first thing in the morning, you're really relaxed and, you know, you're not really cognizant of everything that's going around you. So what I do is I help people get into that state, feeling really relaxed, and whatever it is that they're struggling with, whether it's their self-esteem, they too might be diagnosed with something, that we work on changing their habits. I'm also certified as a physical trainer, as a yoga teacher, and I'm a health coach. So I work nutritionally with people. So that education for me was my own healing. Those things helped me start realizing that I was enough, that I was okay, and healing the cracks that I felt broken from all the things that happened to me in the past. And one of the techniques, what we're going to be doing today, is the EFT, the tapping. So I don't know if you have the forms, the tapping points that have the different diagrams that show the tapping points. Mrs. Camacho, does everybody have those, or should I just go through it?
Yes, they do. I'm gonna pull out the screen so they can see it. Go to your Google Classroom, guys, and you're gonna find it. Oh, perfect. Leslie, under phone presenter, Leslie, and I believe you want this one. Is this the one?
They can have that one, or they can have the other one. The one that I actually have in front of me is, I don't know
Okay,
if you can,
they got it.
is that one. So it really,
Tapping
it's
point.
they're both the same. One's just female and one's male.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do is, I'm going to go through showing you where these points are after I ask you a couple questions. What I want you to do before we go into that is I want you to just take a moment and take a breath. And my understanding is you guys are having meditation classes. So you're learning how to breathe, and that's really, really important. So I just want you to kind of be in your body and feel your body. And I want you to think about, if you don't mind, where you are how you are being hard on yourself. And I want you to also notice, are you feeling any resistance to the conversation we're having right now? Does it kind of seem stupid talking about you're loving yourself and treating yourself with kindness, talking to yourself, when things are hard? What does that feel like for you? Are you not really wanting to hear about it? It seems like bullshit. That I want you to think about how that feels for you. And what I want you to do is rate where you think you are on that scale, how resistant you are to really trying and learning how to be kind to yourself. And on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the most uncomfortable and intense you can possibly feel, and 0 being neutral, and you're pretty much at peace with being kind to yourself and learning about yourself. Rate yourself right now. Put a number maybe down on a sheet. I don't know. Were you going to do a quiz, Mrs. Camacho, with them? Have them rate it? Were you going to pull that up like we did the other day, or no?
They can type it on the chat. Yes.
Oh, great. Thank
Perfect.
you. Okay, super. Thank you. I love seeing participation, and also know at the end of this, if you have any questions, and I mean any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you guys. So, super. Thank you for Alexander. Anybody else?
So the question is, where are you hard on yourself? How do you feel? How do you rate yourself from 1 to 10 if you are hard on yourself when you feel love and compassion?
Yeah, are you resistant? Yeah, exactly. Are you resistant to being kind to yourself?
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So we can move forward. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a really simple technique, this tapping technique, which helps balance out the energy that's in our body, because we are energy. And then what this tapping does is it goes right to the brain, like I had shared with you earlier, that affects the cortisol levels. And cortisol is what we get when we're really stressed out, that then can give us the headache, the pain in the shoulders, in the back, the tummy aches. So it's a great technique that you can even do quickly after this session is over, if you need it throughout your life, to quickly move yourself away from feeling anxious.
They can do it right now.
So can they come up on screen, or can they unmute themselves? Or might you, Mrs. Camacho, repeat after me the saying that I'm going to have? And then if all of you, if you want to come up on the screen, if that's possible, or you want to unmute and repeat what I'm saying too, and do the tapping along with us, that'd be really great. So the tapping points are, the first one is right in between your eyebrows. If you feel that bone, if you go up from your nose and then in between your eyebrows. There's a bone right where your eyebrows. Follow the eyebrow bone into the center right above your nose there.
Okay.
That's the first tapping point.
Okay.
And then the second tapping point is that follow that bone. You can feel it. Slide your fingers along the side to the side of your eyes. And you can feel that's the second point. And then take your fingers along the bone underneath your eyes.
Okay.
And that's the next point under the eye.
Okay.
And then you go down to right under your nose. And it's in between, right above your lip, underneath your nose,
Okay.
right in the middle. And then you go down to your chin, and it's right below your lip, about a finger's width below your lip, above the bottom of your chin is the next acupressure point. And then you go down to your collarbone. Now, what I want you to do is to take your hands and slide them on your collarbone into the center. And you can feel the 2 points on either side. And then just move 2 fingers down right underneath there. And that's the next acupressure point. And then take your hand, and for the girls, it's easy to identify because it's about where the bra line is. You go underneath your arm, and for the boys, it's about a hand width on the side of your body, where you're going to be tapping that acupressure point on the side of your body. And then we finish with the top of the head. So I'm going to repeat each time after I teach you this particular mantra that we're going to talk about, where you're supposed to be doing it. So we'll start with the karate chop. You can see on the diagram, and what they call the karate chop is on the side of the hand, and that's where you start talking to yourself and having your mind listen to what you want to shift. So we're going to start with, even though, and you'll be tapping on the side of your hand, Mrs. Camacho.
Okay. Got it.
That even though I'm still feeling so anxious.
Even though I still feel so anxious.
And worried about things, you keep tapping on the side of your hand.
Worry about things.
And you keep tapping on the side of your hand. It makes sense. I feel this way.
It makes sense. I feel this way.
When things are all uncertain.
When things are all uncertain.
And I choose to be really kind and gentle to myself right now.
And I choose to be really kind and gentle to myself right now.
Even though I still get anxious sometimes.
Even though I still get anxious sometimes.
I choose to send love.
I choose to send love.
Compassion and kindness.
Compassion and kindness.
To myself.
To myself.
Because I'm doing the best I can right now.
Because I'm doing the best I can right now.
And that's enough.
And that's enough.
Even though I'm so hard on myself.
Even though I'm so hard on myself.
The feeling of this anxiety.
The feeling of this anxiety.
Right here and now.
Right here and now.
I choose to be gentle to myself.
I choose to be gentle to myself.
Because I deserve it.
Because I deserve it.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the top of the eyebrow, and we're going to, and you'll repeat after me, I'm doing the best I can.
And with the
right at the eyebrow.
With both fingers?
Yes. I'm doing the best I can.
Best I can.
And then the side of the eye, you say, I am resilient.
I am resilient.
Under the eye, I am stronger than I realize.
I'm stronger than I realize.
Underneath the nose, I have already got through 100% of the worst days.
I got 100% of the worst day. Something like that.
I have already got through
Oh,
100% of the worst days.
I already got 100% of the worst something day. So
And then we'll go to under the mouth.
okay.
And I'm going to get through this day too.
I'm going to get through this day too.
And then the collarbone. So, what if I could do that with kindness and gentleness?
So well, what was that? What was that?
So, what if I could
Oh.
do that with kindness and gentleness? That's on your collarbone.
So what if I could do this with with kindness and gentlemen?
Gentleness. And then under the arm,
Okay.
instead of always judging myself and being so hard.
Instead of always judging myself and being so hard.
And then go to the top of the head. I'm an amazing person.
I'm an amazing person.
And then the karate, and then, oh, sorry, the eyebrow, go back to the eyebrow.
Okay.
And I choose to be so kind to myself right now.
I choose to be kind to myself right now.
And the side of the eye, if somebody I loved was feeling like this,
if someone that I love is feeling like this,
under the eye, I wouldn't judge them.
I wouldn't judge them.
Under the nose, I wouldn't be critical of them.
I wouldn't be critical of them.
Go under the mouth, I would validate them.
I will validate them.
I would tell them they matter.
I will tell them they matter.
And then go to your collarbone. I would say, hey, I see you.
Hey, I will say, hey, I see you.
And then under the arm, you matter to me.
You matter to me.
The top of the head, what if I could do that to myself?
What if I could do that to myself?
And back to the eyebrow, what if I could treat myself the way I would someone dear to me?
What if I could treat myself like someone
the way I would someone dear to me?
The way I would something dear to me.
And then the side of the eye, I choose to really see and hear how I'm feeling.
I choose to really see and hear how I feel.
And then under the eye, I am human, just like everyone else.
I am human, just like everyone else.
Under your nose, it's okay that I'm feeling like this.
It's okay that I'm feeling like this.
And then under your mouth, it's okay that I'm feeling like this.
It's okay that I'm feeling like this.
And sending deep and profound love to myself right now.
And sending deep and profound love to myself right now.
And then go to your collarbone. There are better days to come.
There are better days to come.
I am, and then you go underneath your arm. I am strong.
I am strong.
And then the top of the head. I am resilient.
I'm resilient.
And I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself just as I am.
I accept myself the way I am.
Okay, let's take in a deep breath after that.
Okay,
Breathe in.
Deep breath.
And breathe out through your mouth. Make a noise. Okay, I want you to check in again with yourselves after doing that exercise and notice how you're feeling now. You guys kind of take a moment, feel in your body. Are you feeling, did it shift a little? Does it seem like maybe you can open up more opportunity to be less critical and be more kind to yourself. And how would you rate that on a scale of 1 to 10 right now? And then, so if you're feeling more loving and compassion, your number would be lower. Oh, great. I'm so happy, Mrs. Camacho, you are feeling more loving to yourself.
Loving and compassionate, that'll be like a 1 or 2. Is that
right? Yes, that you've opened up that the possibility that maybe you can see that you can be kinder to yourself, because these points that we tapped actually do resonate with the energy in the brain. And that if this would be done enough times, repeating those words, you could actually begin to feel a shift at the times you're feeling really hard on yourself, very critical and resistant to yourself. And does anybody, can anybody share with me what they might do at the times during the day or in a week when they show themselves kindness when something has been particularly hard? Would anybody in the class want to mention what they do in terms of their own self-care to feel better? What you might do?
What they might do?
Right, like I'll go for a walk. I love being outside. Or I do keep a journal that I'll think of, well, what am I, even though I'm feeling so crappy right now and things are really hard, what can I be grateful for? Oh, great. Just take a day or two off. That's wonderful. And that's really a good thing to remember. Sometimes we just need to curl up with the blanket and relax. It doesn't always mean that we have to do something. Reading a book is great.
Yes.
Anybody else? Okay, so there's also, I'll be sending, there's something that you can pull, you could self-care suggestions, if any of you want to look at those, some ideas that I just put together that you could use. And then if you're even interested, I could end up giving a script to Mrs. Camacho where you guys could download it and you could do this yourself because you have the drawing.
Yes, I was gonna ask that it will be nice for them to have it and practice it whenever they need to. So did you guys type on the chat how your number, how do you feel after the little exercise that we just did? Remember, 1 is you feel more loving and compassionate and less judgmental towards yourself. And if you can type on the chat how you feel. So we have a 4, a 3, a 3. Good.
Good.
A 0. Awesome.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Very good. So I know, yeah, it's less stress, more relaxed, more like, hey, feel good.
And I'm curious, does anybody, oh, I'm sorry.
I see a 10. Somebody got a 10. A 10 is when you are like very
really hard on yourself.
Yeah.
You're still being really hard on yourself. And so we would need to practice a little more.
Yes. How often do you usually do this? As long as it takes, or a minute?
This is just one technique that you can use, and yes, as long as it takes. I use other techniques with my clients and myself. One is called subconscious guided visualization. So we do a session where we imagine remembering when you felt so loved and appreciated. Maybe think of your grandma, because I often have people call me Coach Grandma Leslie. because I'm of that age and I am a grandma, and the things that I know are loving and I'm wise. But I will definitely kick your ass if you don't do what you're supposed to. So, but what does it mean? Does anybody want to share what it means to you to love yourself? What is that? What comes to your mind when you think of loving yourself? And there's no judgment here. Whatever it is what it is. And also, okay, great. Yes, perfect. Making myself super. I love these comments. Thank you. And also, does anybody have any questions for me? And you can ask anything you wish, whether it be about the history, the things that happened to me through my addiction, or what went through my mind in terms of being with suicide and depression, and actually becoming a somatic hypnotherapist and a health coach. Do you have any productive morning? What
Maybe
this
he
is
means maybe like
I can't see. Let me go to, because I couldn't see the entire message.
it said, do you have any
Let me
productive
pull that.
morning? I'm thinking
Oh,
routines. I'm thinking
how do you have a productive morning? Okay, here's one of the things that I do
you have a productive morning.
is establishing a routine, which is really difficult for many of us. But I will share with you that on the days that I don't do what I'm going to tell you that I do in my routine, my day doesn't go as smoothly. And even though I have all these techniques that I practice with clients and that I use myself, I still have bad days. We all have bad and good days, no matter what kind of tools we have. But fortunately, I have a toolbox that I can use to pull out. So, for instance, for me, I check in with myself when I wake up. And am I waking up feeling sad or really tired? Do I have low energy? I'm not a morning person, I am a night person. So I'm often don't have an abundance of energy. So I'll go put on a guided meditation for energy. Maybe I'll put on a guided meditation for self-confidence. So that's one thing. And I also keep a journal, and I write 3 things every day that I'm grateful about. And what's interesting about that is science is showing that those people that you can find something bright in your life, that even when it's difficult, it can help shift you quicker when you get into a place that feels really hard. The other thing I do is I take a little walk. There, that's what I was talking about, those self-care suggestions. You guys can look at those. But I don't know what kind of time frame you all have. If you have a chance to even turn on a really quick yoga session, get your body moving. Sometimes I'll turn on music and I'll dance around like a crazy grandma. And that just breaks up my energy and makes me happy, having my music really loud and dancing around, and I'm laughing at myself. So those are a few of the things that I do. Anybody else have a question?
Someone said, are you a grandma? Never mind. You just answered that question.
Yes, I am. I have 3 grandkids. I have a 20-year-old grandson who just graduated from the Air Force. I have a 17-year-old granddaughter and an 11-year-old granddaughter. Any other questions? Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here speaking with all of you. And I really hope that this might be something that could be useful. And if anybody wants to reach out, Mrs. Camacho maybe can figure out whether we can connect. If you need further help with any of these things, I'm more than happy to be available to anybody. If that's within the system, I don't know, whether that can happen, but I'm making myself available. If any of your students want me to help practice this more with them, or they have a particular issue or whatever they want to work on, I'd be more than happy to help. But I appreciate all of you for participating and for listening to this. And thank you. I'm feeling very honored to be here. And thank you, Mrs. Camacho, for this opportunity.
Where can the kids follow you? If they want to follow you, they can tell their parents or they can follow you as well.
Well, I'm on Instagram at Leslie Ann Transformationalist. I can
Transformationalist. Oops. Is that Leslie?
Yeah, that's
Transformationalist.
Yes. You can see my posting there. And I'm also on Facebook at Leslie Ann Center. My company's name is Moving On Solutions. And I also have a Facebook page for my company.
Moving
On. And moving on is one word, and then solutions.
Oh, okay. That moving on solutions.
Yes.
Okay, so they can follow you there. And what's the other question about the exercise that you just did? They can do it as often as they want. And did you guys ever write? I don't think I saw some responses. Like, did it help you? Did it make you feel more relaxed, guys, and more loving and compassionate after we did the exercise? Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
great.
Let's see one.
Good.
Hey,
Good.
we want to make a change, even if it's one person at a time. That means our mission it's accomplished. And maybe at this time, it's not the time when you you are using it, but maybe pretty soon you're going to use it, or maybe in a week you're like, oh, I remember, and then use it, or tell a friend about it, your parents, how to use this. It's called EFT technique, right?
Right. And if I can, because I saw Jenny posted about what it did is it activated some things for her. And then so what that means is that we just need to keep repeating that particular exercise, working on that, so that your mind begins to relax about how you are feeling about yourself. And there may be some other messages that we need to look at too, that's going on, that maybe change the words for you, that feel more personal. And that can happen too. Maybe the words that I used didn't resonate for everybody, that you have your own words that you need to uplift who you are and to be kinder to yourself.
Okay, and then we should finish. I have a 5-minute meditation here that maybe if you don't mind, we could finish with find your calm. So I'm gonna share my screen. Miss Leslie, oops, you are welcome to do this meditation with us.
I would be happy to.
Awesome. So I'm going to play it and let me know if you cannot see it or hear it, guys.
This meditation is designed to help you find some peace and quiet and deep relaxation in your day. It will help you reset your nervous system so that you can find a few moments to unwind and reset. Find a comfortable seated position. Allow your muscles to relax, but maintain that feeling of being awake and alert. When you find a comfortable position, I invite you to close your eyes or gently gaze in front of you. I'm going to lead you on a brief scan of your body. This is a way to get centered and to relax. Start by simply noticing the muscles in your face and allow your facial muscles to relax and soften. Let go of any tension in your forehead, in your eyebrows. Relax your mouth and your jaw. Allow all the muscles in your face to soften. Next, tune into your neck and shoulders. See if you're holding any tension or tightness there. Allow your shoulders to gently soften downward. Feel the weight of your arms and your hands. Simply relaxing and releasing any tension or tightness you may find there. Bring your attention into your back and relax all the muscles in your back by simply allowing them to soften. Then slowly draw your attention into your belly and see if you can notice the gentle rhythm of your breath. Noticing how your belly moves with each inhale and each exhale, allowing your belly to simply soften. Next, draw your attention downward and simply notice the weight of your legs and the points of contact your legs are making with the chair beneath you. Then draw your attention and your focus all the way down to your feet, noticing whatever sensations are there. Perhaps you can feel the gentle pressure of your feet touching the ground beneath you. Just connect to the body sensations in your legs and feet. Now, draw your attention upward and expand it to your whole body, connecting once again to how it feels to sit. If there are any points of tension or tightness that remain, breathe deeply into those areas, creating openness and space. And as you exhale, simply let go of any remaining tension or tightness. Breathe in once again, a nice deep inhale, filling your whole body that we just explored with air and space. And as you slowly exhale, allow your body to soften and sink into the chair beneath you. Notice how it feels to simply quiet your thinking mind for these few moments by connecting and anchoring your attention on the physical sensations in your body right now. Notice how it feels to simply be, to connect your mind to your body and to relax. If your eyes are closed, I invite you now to open them.
Great. Found your calm. Nice. Well, thank you. Hopefully this made us feel a little bit more relaxed. Thank you very much, guys. And thank you. Unmute yourself and thank Miss Leslie Ant for her time and here with us. We really appreciate her. And if you have any questions, also type it on the chat, unmute yourself. Let it go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you mañana.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you for sharing your experiences. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.